बंदिश बहते जाना सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप छपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं। आजाद पंख है यारों चलो आसमान से खेले, ना सरहद ना सीमाएं आओ उड़ान से खेले। सोच लिया
Focus on the moment at hand, stick to the plan, never stop, never again. Don't think, no what, and there's no pain. Only adrenaline running through my veins. Break through and I never quit. Mine is on the finish line till I'm over it. When I fall, I rise. You'll see how, like a flame from the ashes. Nothing can stop me now.
सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop me now. Get up and go.
जिद्दी सी कोशिश लेकर जिद्दी सी कोशिश लेकर नस नस का धनुष बनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना। होना ही है आज मुकम्मल, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Oh, get up and go. Nothing can stop you now.
खामोश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना। सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप छपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं। आजाद पंख है यारों चलो आसमान से खेले, ना सरहद ना सीमाएं आओ उड़ान से खेले। सोच लिया
Focus Focus on the moment at hand, stick to the plan, never stop, never again. Don't think, no what, and there's no pain. Only adrenaline running through my veins. Breakthrough and I never quit. Mine is on the finish line till I'm over it. When I fall, I rise. You'll see how, like a flame from the ashes. Nothing can stop me now.
सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop me Get up and go.
सिद्धि सी कोशिश लेकर सिद्धि सी कोशिश लेकर नस नस का धनुष बनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना। होना ही है आज मुकम्मल, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Oh, get up and go. Nothing can stop you now.
खामोश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना। सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर, सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं। छप छप छपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं। आजाद पंख है यारों, चलो आसमान से खेले, ना सरहद ना सीमाएं, आओ उड़ान से खेले। सोच लिया
Focus on the moment at hand, stick to the plan, never stop, never again. Don't think, no what, and there's no pain. Only adrenaline running through my veins. Breakthrough and I never quit. Mine is on the finish line till I'm over it. When I fall, I rise. You'll see how, like a flame from the ashes. Nothing can stop me now.
सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop me now. Get up and go.
सिद्धि सी कोशिश लेकर, जिद्दी सी कोशिश लेकर नस नस का धनुष बनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, होना ही है आज मुकम्मल। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Oh, get up and go. Nothing can stop you now.
Well, folks, let's start by apologizing, or I could just say it's 2020 and something has to happen. So let's just put it down to 2020. But yes, for all of you out there who have patiently waited, we've been excited about this event coming, and we've heard lots of good things about it so far. We've heard from the event ambassador, Abhinav Bindra, delighted to have him on board. And we started with different aspects, from the medical to the hospitality. And now we've got a team on board. And I like to say team because you could call them sponsors, partners, no matter what, but everyone's part of the team. Everyone joins the team with equal verve and enthusiasm, which is what makes this event such a success. So in no particular order, let me welcome Rupan Deparki, Chairperson, India Cares Foundation. Lovely to see you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Preeti Nihalani, Chief Revenue Officer for Radio Mirchi. We always know they're there on the sidelines, cheering everyone on and making sure this is permeating through the radio waves.
Absolutely.
Delighted to have Partha Sinha with us, who, of course, while I was looking for a line to apologize to everyone, came up with one of his own. And I'd like to leave it to you to use that.
Yeah, that was a marathon wait, but it was worth it, definitely.
Yes.
Thank you.
And President Times response. Also lovely to have Vijay Raghavan Venugopal, or Vijay, CEO of Fast and Up. Vijay, just to make sure that you can hear us and we can hear you.
Yeah, now I am able to hear you, and good to be here.
Excellent, excellent. And also big hello to another old friend, Rajesh. Good to see you here. Rajesh Patel, Head Marketing for Seco India. We'll also make sure that we can hear Rajesh, just so we keep things ticking along for him. Every pun intended. I know you can hear us, but can we hear you? We'll get that.
Yeah.
I think we'll give one more shot. Rajesh, are you able to hear us? Okay, we'll get that sorted in a moment. We'll get that sorted in a moment. But while we were saying all this, someone who always makes sure that it is picture perfect, not just when it comes to organizing a marathon, but also when we had that little chat about a marathon wait, the first person to come in and say, yes, that's a good line, but actually a half marathon wait. So thank you so much for that, Joint Managing Director of Procam International, and a driving force for so many years, Anil Singh. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to be here. So good to have everyone around here and all of us come together. Fantastic.
Well, Anil, I'm actually going to start with you because we've heard from so many different aspects of this wonderful event, which is back again, but it's not just back again under normal circumstances. Many people didn't expect it to happen, but I think the fact that it's happening means we are showing the way, and it wouldn't be possible without everyone who's on this panel led by your vision.
No, that is so true, because these are unprecedented times. And to even visualize putting something like this together needs everyone to come together cohesively, needs everyone to play their role. And more importantly, it needs a leap of faith, challenge, trust, and also to remember that these are times when people are looking for hope, looking to see some sort of normalcy come back, looking to challenge their own world within what they are, and to be able to connect. So I think if it's just because of all these wonderful people around here, and the ones that are going to follow this section and the ones before, it's such a united effort to make this possible. And for brands, it's a very interesting, sort of a situation for brands, because in a sponsorship, you sometimes you can't really do the things what sponsorships are meant to do in terms of touch and feel and be able to actually sort of take that, because sponsors are very different from advertising. But to see how they've made these changes, how they are so much more empathetic towards how people feel and understand about the human fabric so much more. So I think that it's a lot of trend setting that's taking place as we speak. So I think it's a fantastic collective effort, and I think we're going to be quite a statement for many to follow in terms of how to create value, how to create connect, how to create touch. So, and there are new innovations being tried all the time. So, hey, here's another one. The journey has never been easy, and we reached a situation where we have to put on that toughness back again and move forward and move it well.
Yeah, I'm going to take a cue from what Anil just said. It's almost as about giving a pulse to sponsorship. It's giving a sense of feeling to sponsorship, and of course adapting and innovating. Partha Sinha, I'll come to you. You've been a partner for so many years, and it's not just about content creation or engaging an audience, but it's about adapting in times like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because to kind of start with, it's a bit of an oxymoron, because as a product, we invite people to be sedentary. You can't really run and read a paper. I haven't seen anybody doing that yet. But the truth is, it is a very city level engagement typically. So what happens is at a time like this, when we are asking people to kind of come in together, and we can't emphasize any more about the importance of physical activity right now. So in a time like this becomes all the more important as a bit of a clarion call, and we are very happy that we can actually make that happen. We are very happy that as a partner we can kind of mobilize people, get them together, and that is the primary purpose of this partnership. Of course, we are very keen to build large sports brands, partner large sports brand, and we have been doing it with program. I think this relationship goes back when, Anil, 2005.
2003, actually, when we started. In 2004 was the first event, but that's so true.
Yep. So I think there is a sense of purpose in this whole thing, and that makes us tick, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting. I'm sure Partha will find a way to get people reading a newspaper and running at some point in time. But Preeti, no such problem with what's coming over the airwaves. But it's also important to sort of spread this positivity, as the morning show always does, bright and early in the morning, because no matter what the message, this year it's a message more of hope and positivity. Preeti, I see you're also on mute.
Yeah, I have unmute. Yes, absolutely. Very well said. Radio has no such restrictions like what Partha says. In fact, music and running goes very well together, and there are a lot of scientific studies also which say that when you run with your music on, it gives a far better performance in your running. I will take a cue from what Anil said a while ago, that all the runs that we organize, ADHM or TCS or the Bangalore run, I don't think they're just a run, an event. I think it's a celebration, and or what Anil said, it's a statement. I think it's a celebration of not only health and happiness, it's a celebration of hope, it's a celebration of spirit, celebration of positivity. And Mirchi as a brand is known for a lot of positivity that it brings around. It's a sunshine brand. And I think together, both Procam, Mirchi, and all of us together, are together in this cause. And yeah, I would urge everybody to come forward, participate, and celebrate this sunshine.
Yes, and I think that urging is something that is a big part of what Rupande Padki does at the India Cares Foundation. And I'd like to bring her in at this stage when you talk about philanthropy. Of course, it comes with its challenges in an environment like this, but that one word that we keep talking about, hope. Yes, it's a bold step to actually put this out there and to do it, but that hope never dies, does it?
Well, Gautam, you have said it very well. Hope never dies. And this time, what is happening is when ADHM was announced, all our partner came forward with that one thing that we are very hopeful to get back to our previous way of working. So yes, this event has really created great hope in people who are going to run, who are going to participate, who are going to raise funds, and so on. Yes.
Yeah, and Rajesh, hopefully we can hear you now.
I think you can hear me, Gautam.
Excellent. That distinct voice, we'll always know if we are missing out on it. You know, we talk about timing being everything for a runner, and it's the timing of this particular event is actually very significant because it comes at a time when people weren't even necessarily expecting it to be there. But now you look up and say, hang on, these guys are actually going through with it. Let's keep an eye out on this. Even if you're not involved as a runner, you somehow will sit up and take notice, won't you?
Absolutely, Gautam. In fact, I'd like to congratulate the entire Procam team, first of all, to making this event happen, given the current situation in India. And being such a big event, ADHM is a big milestone for runners who've been preparing for many months now. And what is important is the way Procam have innovated and, urging people from all across the country to run and participate and, make it an pan-India affair. I think is very encouraging for us as a brand and as a timing partner. So I think congratulations to Anil and his team, for making this event happen.
Yes, I think, it works both ways. I think Anil will be the first to say that we had the sports secretary earlier, and when we all thanked him and congratulated him for his efforts, the first thing he said was, and it was not just words, was that, well, I should be thanking you. And that's how it works. It's sort of a chicken and egg situation. Which one comes first? In this case, the chicken and the egg both turned up together. It was the vision to do it and everybody else being partners together for this is the one time where you can't decide which one comes first. But Vijay, no chicken, no eggs, but lots of nutrition. You guys obviously show the way, and nutrition in these times almost becomes a way of life, hasn't it? Do you find people are more and more conscious about it? Does it make your job easier?
Well, yeah, 2020 has been interesting, and I think there's a lot of focus back on nutrition in a very positive way, and I think that will keep going on. But to take a step back and talk about ADHM itself as a fellow runner and as a brand associated with running for a long time now, ADHM is one such event which everyone in the country looks forward to. And it's amazing to have Procam stand up and come back and say that we are going to have this event. Now, I think this is going to signal a lot of things for the next year. I mean, 2021 is not too far away. So what it does give is a lot of hope for everyone that 2021 will obviously be a better year than 2020. And finally, sports, Gautam, as you know, that it's something which really gets people together. And in this entire 2020, I'm sure companies and brands have all been through the ups and downs. And we have had multiple discussions with, say, Procam through the year. And it's very heartening to see the same set of partners standing up, coming together, especially with the government getting in to come together and get this going. I think this is a lot of tribute to everyone involved. And finally, to have the first international event, apart from the ISL, which is already started, to have it on the Indian roads is a great signal, and happy to be associated with this.
Quick follow-up to that, Vijay. For everybody who's sort of coming to terms with what the entire structure of this unique event is, you're sending your products to 75 run clubs across India, which means the message really is it's pan-India, and you run from where you are. Exactly. So I think we have the Procam team, which is actually going down to interact with the running clubs. We have ourselves been interacting with a lot of them. So to have this enabled across the country is a great thing. So well said. Just a final word. I think, Partha, I'll get you in on this. Just to sort of sum up what you've heard and what everyone said in terms of the brand's responsibility, but also how it sort of works both ways, because a brand knows that they have something to follow, and the event knows that they have a brand to lean on.
Yeah, of course, it's a completely symbiotic relationship. But more importantly, I think there is a meeting of mind, and that's why it works. Because as I have been saying, that it's not just about running and not just about fitness. Of course, they're very important. I think there's a complete purpose to this kind of events. You know, like on one hand, it's about hope, it's about feeling positive, and you know that it's kind of our responsibility these days to make sure that we spread some cheer. You know, like there has been enough negativity around us, so we almost take it upon ourselves to make sure that whenever there's a little bit of cheer, we pick it up and we spread it across. It is critical, and this kind of help do that. And as I had said before, again, it is a meeting of minds around a purpose, which makes us, you know, a very proud partner. So it's no longer about just you know, like the event organizers and the, you know, brand partner. It's actually a single team who's all trying to, everybody is trying to put in their best to spread some cheer, making sure that there is some positivity. And of course, you know, like, as they say, the show must go on and running should never stop. I think that's a great way to sum this up. In fact, you also reiterated what I keep saying. Every time I have a list of all the different people I have to speak to, they sort of refer to this as a session. I said, really? I don't want to call it that. Everyone's part of one big team. So let's just divide people up and have chats on various aspects of it, because everyone's as much a part of this, integral part of it, as everyone else. Thank you so much for your time. We will, of course, see you much closer to the event, and wonderful to have all your thoughts on different aspects from the corporate to the philanthropy side. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Gautam.
The best.
Thank you.
Lovely speaking to you.
झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप छपा चपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं। आजाद पंख है यारों, चलो आसमान से खेले, ना सरहद ना सीमाएं, आओ उड़ान से खेले। सोच लिया
Focus on the moment at hand, stick to the plan, never stop, never again. Don't think, no what, and there's no pain. Only adrenaline running through my veins. Breakthrough and I never quit. Mine is on the finish line till I'm over it. When I fall, I rise. You'll see how, like a flame from the ashes. Nothing can stop me now.
सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है।
Yes, delighted to be joined by someone who's been an integral part of sport in India. And I always like to stress that. I've given about 1 million different kind of introductions, but I think in a time like this, an integral part of sport is most important. Yes, be it running, be it rugby, be it the world of entertainment as well. But I think just focusing on where sport lies right now, it's delighted to say a big hello to Rahul Bose.
The delight is mine, Gautam.
Rahul, just everyone's talking about the strange times that we live in right now and the hope, and everyone cutting through this clutter and being able to have an event like this. I mean, for you as just someone from that sporting fraternity, it must be, you must be delighted for a start.
Yes, I'm actually awestruck at Anil and Vivek Singh and Procam and of course all the partners. Like you stressed, it's all just one family. I'm awestruck at the way they have never taken a step back in the face of the pandemic and always been loyal to the wishes of the thousands, if not lakhs of followers of this event and all their events across the calendar. To have the elite runners actually running, I think is a miracle, and it's fantastic. But the stroke of genius is, and I wish they had thought of this earlier, but strange times bring out the best in people. The stroke of genius is that now you can have people running the Airtel Delhi half marathon without being in Delhi. It's that stroke of genius that I find it is now genuinely going to bring, earlier if you were in Mumbai or you were in Kolkata or you were in Bangalore or Chennai, you just logged on and cheered. I mean, you put the television on and cheered and stuff like that. But now you can actually feel as much a part of it as somebody in Delhi. So that's the beauty of it all. And so I'm actually, I've always bowed my head at the feet of the Singh brothers. But today I have to say that, this is really converting what could have been a fatal flaw into a grand victory.
You can still bow from 6 feet away, Rahul. That's absolutely fine. But I'm so glad you brought it up, because we've been sort of unveiling this new concept over the last hour and a half. At the very outset, we had the sports secretary with us. And of course, we were delighted at the kind of support that they've shown. And I had to correct him at the very start, because he used the word, wonderful athletes will run and the rest will run virtually. And I said, with all due respect, sir, I need to correct you. Because we know what virtual means to the whole world. It's about getting onto a phone and actually pressing buttons and running it. And some teenagers would love that. Is this another video game that you're launching? No, it's not. It's actually real. And he was delighted to be corrected, because he's so much into the Fit India movement. He said, okay, so everyone's going to be running. And I said, yes, you'll hear more of it over the next hour and a bit, Rahul. So, and just to throw some more light on it, how are people going to actually keep track of what's happening wherever they are?
Well, there's obviously, and this is why you and I are talking, we're going to be unveiling something right now very soon, which is going to make it so simple and so clear for anybody who's actually running to participate. And that's the part that I'm most thrilled about, because the genius of it is in its simplicity. And it's something that anyone can do. You don't have to be a science wonk. I certainly am not, or a tech expert to do this. So, without further ado, Gautam, I'm ready if you are.
We're all ready. It's time to unveil something very, very special.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
खामोश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
I think it's time now.
Wow, I think it's nothing short of a revolution, Rahul.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Because I don't see why not, Gautam, if all goes well and we can actually have all the runs happening in the next calendar year, I don't see why this can't also be incorporated. Why does it have to be either or? There can be a live run. Everybody in the city is running and cheering, but there can also be everybody in the other cities also running. So, it's this hybrid model that's emerging for live events, which I think adversity has made you plan these and design these, but there's no reason why they can't stay on even after this.
And I think the big message, of course, solidarity and hope, but also the fitness message, Rahul, is so important, because the very fact that it's not virtual as we think of it, it's remote. It's a remote run. There's another way to put it. So you could be running around a neighborhood park. You could be just plotting a route from your home to your office, if there is an erstwhile office you had it back.
Think of the visual opportunities. Somebody running in the hills of Munnar, somebody running, down a highway in Agra, somebody running around the lake, in Odisha. I mean, it's just the possibilities are endless of people sending in their stuff that they've done. I mean, it'll actually be an all India run, which is why I'm so excited.
I could already visualize the director and Rahul Bose just starting to have many ideas. I mentioned all those hats. That was the director talking, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
But yeah, Pan India is something so wonderful to have. And so while we are talking about it, we are going to have some runners who are joining us, which significantly are going to be from different parts of the country. We could easily have had 4 people from Delhi just joining us and saying, yes, Delhi is the best and this is that. But the beauty of this, Rahul, is that it's called ADHM, of course. It's the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon, but it's going to be Pan India and Pan Fitness.
Yeah. So are you going to get people on? Are we going to be having a chat?
I think we should. We should get them on. I know we've got runners from all over, from Jammu, from Chennai, from Baroda as well. So let's see who we can quickly pull in very, very quickly. Okay, we're going to take a pause, so don't go away. We're going to get them all right here, right now.
झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक एक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप छपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं, आजाद बंक।
There you go. It's nice to have some more windows added to this fabulous stage. Rahul Bose already center stage, but as we said, it's a unique event. And so we've got Dilawar Khan, VP Senthil, and Irina Barua all joining us from different beautiful parts of the country. Welcome to all of you for a start.
Thank you. Thank you, Gautam.
Just before you came on, Rahul was talking about how this event is so unique because it's about running. It's about really running, but running from where you are. And let's go straight up to Jammu. What a lovely part of the country that is. Dilawar Khan, just what does this mean to have an all-encompassing event stretching from Jammu to Kanyakumari?
It's great to be part of this panel here. So ADHM has always been special for me. This is the event where I started this long distance running. It started in 2015, and then I continued the streak. And I was worried, never wanted to break this streak. It would have been my 6th ADHM continuous. So that's where actually this started. And first have always been special, be it anything. So ADHM will always be a special event for me. So that's the event where I came to know this beautiful game of running, and since then I've been running. And after that only, after my first ADHM in 2015, I met the runners around not only in India but around the world, and then came to know that there are many runners who have been running in these events from my city, but we have never been able to connect with each other. So this credit goes to ADHM again. Then after that, we made up our own Jammu Runners group. So we've been participating in all the events. But this ADHM thing will always be a special event for me. And I congratulate ProCam and all the organizers for once again showing the path again. It will be the first kind of an event happening in India in such situations in this pandemic thing. So I'm really excited, and I was looking for the word that Gautam told earlier. It's not virtual, so we can say it's remote. And as rightly suggested by Rahul, why can't we continue this thing even after this next year, be it pandemic or not, so that from other parts of the world or the country who may, due to some other reasons, not be able to join in the exact date on the event, so they can run at their own place and at their own leisure. So it's great to be here again, and good luck to all the participants and the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dilawar. We can move from different parts of the country. I think we are trying to geographically span as much of India as we can. Irina, where are you exactly located right now?
Gautam, I'm from Assam, and I'm from Guwahati in Assam. So it's I'm very happy because this time ADHM, as Dilawar has said, ADHM is very special for all the runners. This is the event that we all wait for throughout the year, especially for me. Once I finish one ADHM, I already start looking forward to my next ADHM the next year. So, and this time it is very important for me actually, and for my people this side, because many of the people from this side are unable to travel to Delhi, every year to join this wonderful event. So, and but this time, because it is what you say, a remote, because ADHM is remote this time. People can run anywhere, anytime, between the specified dates. So many of the people from my state are joining this year. And I'm so happy for them that they will also be able to, they are also going to be a part of this event this year. In fact, some people, some runners have called me from remote areas of Assam, and they're very thrilled. One runner called me up yesterday and said, Irinaba, we are going to join ADHM this year. So I'm very happy, and I'm very glad, I'm very grateful to the organizers for having this event this time.
Rahul, you must jump in here, because I sort of spread this word remote, and now Irina's added remote to remote. So even though it's remote, meaning just not in Delhi, now it's even the remote areas. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. There's a place called Lakhimpur, which is a small town in Assam. So this runner called me up from there yesterday, and then she has also invited other runners from that place to join this event. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad for the runners, other runners of the country, and not only in Assam. I now feel that runners from other remote areas, from other parts of the country, will also be able to join this time in ADHM. So we'll have a very big crowd, for ADHM this year. That will be fun. That is fantastic.
Yeah, Rahul.
So I was actually thinking of the various spin-offs that can happen. I mean, if you're running in the mountains, you can't be timed according to the same parameters as somebody running in the plains. So in the future, if you have these runs and people can also run remotely, you might have a sea level to 1,000 feet. This is the kind of timing you need to get. 1,000 to 2,000 feet. This is the kind, if you're running in the hills, who knows? It could spawn so many wonderful, diverse offshoots of this run. That's what I'm really excited about. Pandemic or no pandemic, this is something that can actually bring everybody in the country into the heart of Delhi or Mumbai or Kolkata, as the case may be.
Careful what you wish for, Rahul. I can already see Senthil sitting in Chennai and going, okay, can we have a different parameter for more humid parts of the country? if I'm running in Chennai, I want a few seconds added to my time, Senthil. Are you going to do that?
Very much. Hi, thanks Gautam, and hi Rahul and all the panelists. Yeah, we, the Chennai runners, one of the biggest organized running groups in India, very happy to be part of this initiative from ProCam. Great guys in this challenging times to organize an event like this. Being part of the organizing team, I know the challenges that goes with it, and it's so happy. Every year, Chennai runners come in a very big group and participate in the Delhi ADHM. But this year, these challenging times. But I see there are more numbers that are going to be part of this ADHM this year. Though we are not able to travel, we'll be running here. There are a lot of training plans happening among the chapters and groups here. So already a route has been chartered in Chennai to cover the iconic locations of Chennai, and a chance for us to showcase Chennai also using ADHM. And really happy that ProCam has taken up the challenge and filling out. And normally maybe only Delhi runs, but now this year's ADHM, the whole of India is going to celebrate this grand spectacle of running. So happy to see people from Kashmir to Guwahati to Chennai all coming together to make this running thing. And we Chennai runners always there to support such initiatives and come one as strong as a community. And also look forward to hosting you all soon in Chennai sometime.
Yeah, it depends. You just have to make the weather a little better. We'll come running. Trust me.
That's the speciality of Chennai. No, every city has its challenges.
It is. No complaints. We love Chennai. We love every part of the country. That's the beauty of this nation, Rahul, isn't it? I mean, we can talk about it in textbooks or geography books and try and teach children about this vastness of our country. But through this, as he mentioned, tourism, they can showcase their own little parts of the country. This can be a learning experience.
Yeah, there are very few things that actually, if you think about it, on the surface, connect this country. Languages are different, food changes every 100 miles, dress changes, there are dialects, there are different cultures and customs, but there is that indefinable thing that runs through this entire landmass, this subcontinent. And I think that who would have thought that it would be something like this and a time like this that could actually really genuinely have people, from the most remote corners, irrespective of how rich or poor they are or how talented or not they are, just getting together and being bound by this one thing. these are the kind of moments that one should actually treasure and build on, because these are the things that actually define. I'm not one of those hyper nationalistic, jingoistic types, but it defines a certain togetherness. It defines a certain collective. And if it's done by running, where there is no discrimination of any kind, then I think that what could be a more idealistic and a more beautiful way to run a thread through the country than this?
Running a thread, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. As I said, you don't have to be nationalistic. You just have to feel that oneness of running. Dilawar, taking us back north. We've heard of the remote areas of Assam, tourist places in Chennai. Where are you going to be running?
Talking to me.
Yes, Dilawar.
Yeah. I'll be running with my team, Jammu Runners. So it's a group we have formed only after participating in ADHM 2015 and came to know each other only through this ADHM event. That runners from our own city were not able to connect with each other. So ADHM is that again special for us, all of us. They gave us a chance to form that beautiful group of Jammu Runners. So we have planned our route and everything else. It will be kind of an event here already. So ADHM is, I would say, that really has that emotional connect. So I'm thankful that I'm not going to break that streak of 5 years. Then this year would be my 6th year running continuous this ADHM thing. So it will be great, and I hope and wish all the good luck to all the other participants, Irina, Senthil, and all the groups and runners like us. Cheers.
Quick one, Dilawar, to finish with. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the temperature going to be like when you're going to run? Very different from Senthil?
Definitely, absolutely. Like I have seen this running in like in a coastal area in the Mumbai Marathon, Tata Mumbai. So when we train for that, we have like harsh winters here, and that thing. But the Mumbai is like very humid, so it's really different. Like correctly said by Rahul. So when you run it different, you cannot measure them at the same scale.
But you can enjoy the winter coming in there. Thank you, Irina and Dilawar and Senthil. Final word from you, Rahul. I think you've unveiled the app. You felt the pulse of this event over all these years. This is a watershed moment.
Yes, I think now that there are always pluses and minuses to anything, and there is a clear possibility here that people will say, if I don't go to Delhi, I might not run. You know how it is. But here's the thing, with this app, it becomes so ridiculously easy. And it's not a question of having to reinvent yourself. Just go ahead and do exactly what you would do. Like normally I live in Prabhadevi, so I do Prabhadevi to the NCPA on Marine Drive and all. And that's about 11 kilometers. And sometimes I'll double the way back, halfway at least. So just do what you normally do. Don't make it a big thing. It's not a big thing in the sense that you don't have to change your life for this. You just have to use your 2 feet, and before that you have to use your index finger. That's literally it. So we should keep up the excitement of being in Delhi without being in Delhi, and that is for me between the 25th and 29th. For me, these 4 days is the time when we should be telling people to use your finger before your feet.
Well said. Well said. What a way to wrap this up. Thank you very much once again to all our runners from Guwahati, from Jammu, and from down in Chennai. And of course, representing the West for the moment was Rahul Bose. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you. Thanks, Gautam. Cheers.
Yes, that was the wonderful message to wrap up this session. No, we're not asking you to go out there and vote. There's going to be no ink put on your finger. The reason to use your finger is to get on that app, which we've talked about. It's a brilliant app. And that's how you can run as well. Our next session coming up.
खामोश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप।
Yes, we've told you what you need to do with the app, what the run is all about. It's pan-India, run from where you are. The wonderful elites, the fabulous field is going to be out there running. But for everybody else to have an immersive experience, we also have something very, very special. Have a look. We'll talk about it after that.
खामोश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप छपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं, आजाद पंख है यारों चलो आसमान से खेले, ना सरहद ना सीमाएं आओ उड़ान से खेले। सोच लिया
Focus on the moment at hand, stick to the plan, never stop, never again. Don't think, know what, and there's no pain. Only adrenaline running through my veins. Breakthrough and I never quit. Mine is on the finish line till I'm over it. When I fall, I rise. You'll see how, like a flame from the ashes. Nothing can stop you now.
सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you Get up and go.
जिद्दी सी कोशिश लेकर जिद्दी सी कोशिश लेकर नस नस का धनुष बनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, होना ही है आज दिलकश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना, सोच।
Yes, we talk about innovations, we talk about moving forward, and of course, we keep reiterating this is ADHM 2020 coming to you under unprecedented circumstances. But yes, coming to you. It's an event with a difference, and it's an event where everybody will run collectively. What it also means, it gives you a chance for many more innovations to come in there. And that's why I'm joined by my panel here. I'd like to introduce Ruhail Amin, Senior Editor, Business World. Coming from a very unique location in Srinagar. Welcome.
Thank you.
And of course, the good thing is, in keeping with the nature of ADHM 2020, where everyone will run from wherever they are in different circumstances and different settings, we've got everyone in a very different setting right here. Some corporate, some a little less corporate, like Kiran. Wonderful to see you. As casual as ever, but that's the spirit of it, isn't it? Founder world on a plate. We'll just get to hear him very shortly. Kiran, we'll hear you in a minute, and we can hear you now.
Yeah, I think unprecedented times, and Procam has put something like this together. It's quite innovative as usual by Anil and team. And yeah, I mean, it's good to connect from everywhere. I've got 4 little dogs, so I don't want them to disturb conversations. I thought and I'm at home, so I thought I'll talk from my room. So.
Fair enough. I think there might be a lot of people who'd insist on them coming at some point in time. I'm certainly a dog lover, but let me welcome Naveen and Nipul, directors of Meltwater Events. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi, Gautam. So this is Naveen and Nipul from Meltwater Group, and we specialize in creating amazing experiences for families and kids together. So we are proud to be associated with ADHM and Playscape Active Hub.
And we are going to hear from you exactly what it is that you're bringing to the table here. But to put everything together, to put things in perspective, Director of Procam International, Ashish Bhushan. Ashish, welcome. For starters, tell us about this whole Playscape Hub. I mean, we want to know about this whole virtual hub.
Hi, Gautam, and hello to all my fellow panelists. Gautam, this is, of course, a very interesting year, right, for all of us in terms of what I think businesses and organizations have gone through, but yet it's equally a very large opportunity. The Airtel Delhi Half Marathon, as I think many people know, has health and wellness as one of its key pillars, and it's a property, it's an initiative that reaches out to a community of people who are health conscious, around the country, and year on year, they come in and participate in the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon and are attached to this initiative in many ways. Over the last few years, we've actually been keeping our ear to the ground in terms of what are people saying, what more do they want, and we heard 2, questions coming up. One was about how can people run the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon, from wherever they are? How can they participate? Because not everyone is really able to make it to Delhi each year, right? Of course, we get large participation year on year, but that was one question that was always there. And Rahul and you have already touched upon it in the earlier session. The ADHM app pretty much allows that to happen. And that's one of the technology innovations that, Airtel Delhi Half Marathon is bringing to its participants. The other question and the other opportunity was the same health conscious individuals around the country have been seeking, content, experiences, knowledge in the space of health and wellness. And while the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon sort of addresses it to an extent, we thought this was now an opportunity, for us to create a destination which will have all the immersive content, which allows people to engage, participate, and so on. And so that was one of the reasons why Playscape Active Hub as an idea was born during the last few months. The other is, we do something called as the Get Active Expo, which really is a platform where a lot of our runners come in, their friends and family, they come in to spend 4 days, they pick up their babes, a whole host of things. There are brand experiences. The question we asked ourselves, since you asked about the genesis of Playscape Active Hub, was how can we take this entire experience online within this year? And that was the other trigger for it. And really, Playscape Active Hub, as we see it, is an online destination which will use tech and data to really enable all these immersive experiences.
Yeah, so I think, yes. So it's fair to sum it up to say that the expo that you mentioned is not going anywhere. It's still coming to you, and it's coming to you even more immersively at the touch of a button.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for people around the country. So they will participate in this expo from wherever they are.
So Kiran, let me quickly bring you into it as well in terms of a role that you would play in as one of the co-curators.
Yeah. So firstly, like the whole idea of taking the marathon online is very exciting for all of us because, we've the only thing we were able to do in the lockdown is run. And I think that's something which you can do alone. And it's such a beautiful experience just running by yourself and, doing whatever you're trying to keep fit. And for me, food has always, for World on a Plate, food is, a key focus. And while we always say that, while you want to achieve your personal best, do things around, competing while the competition is on, what you eat is a very integral part of any kind of an athlete or a person who runs, whilst the pasta party is obviously a worldwide renowned idea. So we wanted to bring something on those lines to the ADHM and want to add value to consumers who are running around the country. So we've collaborated with a chef called Abhijit Sahu, who's one of the top chefs of the country. He's the founder of Caperberry and many other brands around the world. And we've made a bunch of recipes that everybody can actually cook at home and run the marathon. So we've while we would love to do much more, but I think Anil and the Ashish's team are it's packed with a lot of content. So we're making it very simple. Two simple recipes. One is a hummus where anybody can make. Obviously, the focus is local ingredients. Chickpeas available anywhere, but you can really create a really amazing, amazing dish out of it and eat it and run. The second one is very exciting. While I'm a big fan of a risotto, we thought we'll, do the modern bisibele bath. I'm from Bangalore, so we thought we'll add value. And, our Indian food is so amazing with so much of rich nutrients. Nutrition is at the highest level. So we're giving you bisibele bath as it is. And I'm sure all of y'all are going to have a good time eating, and running a successful marathon. So that's what we're doing for the Playscape Hub this time.
Yeah, not bad. The first time I ever had a bisibele bath, I was told it's an MG Road risotto in Bangalore. So I guess that sums it up as far as that is concerned. Ruhail, let me come to you and get your perspective on how something like this would work.
So we were discussing, I had discussion with Mr. Singh and Shaju about, the kind of content we can curate around this event. And we were like spoiled for choice, so much around to do. And finally, we curated something for the countdown when it begins 3-4 days prior to it. And there's a session with some of the top celebrities, quoting names. There is around brands, for example, in this pandemic, some of the brands have stood by, despite people not going outdoor. A lot of brands have shown that resilience, that faith, that, it's not about commerce, more than that, We touch upon those aspects. And also, for example, health is a very big concern, going out and doing an event, a mix of both. So we'll touch upon all those conversations, and we have curated some 3 to 4 days of content. We'll come up with all those details with you very soon. So that's from our side. So essentially, a lot of, apart from the main event, a lot of interesting conversations that will be flowing and rolling on every day. So that's how we have added value to this big event, and we're so excited to be there as partners.
Food, conversation, and onto experiences. Naveen, Nipul, you briefly touched upon your speciality. You can now enlighten us your connect with this entire hub.
Yes, at Playscape Hub, we will be curating fun activities for families and kids, which are basically divided into two main segments. One is the knowledge hub, and second is the fun games and performances for families. So our artist, which is a renowned artist in the city, will be conducting some art and craft activities, workshops like dream catcher making, coffee painting, along with some interesting performances by an illusionist, storytelling session for kids, and some juggling acts. So these are some interesting things that we are planning to do in the coming week.
I think it's important. I mean, engagement, you're already seeing it spreading so far and wide. But Ashish, the engagement is important to let people know, because if you're going to an expo physically, you're sort of, everyone bombards you with everything. But here it's also important to be equally engaging.
Yeah, and Gautam, the beauty of technology is that it can take the engagement and experiences to a completely different level, right? I mean, there are no constraints, there are no physical constraints of any kind. So, we've been very fortunate to have some of the best curators, work with us to put Playscape Active Hub together. Content can come from anywhere. There can be, audiences from anywhere. So I think, we are doing our best to use technology to that extent.
And Kiran, it's also about, I mean, I know you talked about a combination of something that's a universal appeal and something that you've curated from maybe one part of the country. But the beauty is, as we talked earlier, we had 3 runners from 3 vastly different parts of the country joining us. So I think that also, this whole bit of unity, of coming together of the country, will also be a message, and no better message than through food.
Absolutely. Also, what we've touched upon is that, there's always, for World in a Plate, it's been challenging for us because ADHM is a physical event. It's been challenging this year, but we've kind of gone in that journey saying that why don't we kind of tell chefs we work with some of the best chefs around the world, whether it's a Marco Pierre White to the Ranveer Bras and many, many interesting chefs in India. But the first thumb rule, which I'm actually, going on to them to say, is that nutrition and flavor needs to go hand in hand. So that's what we want to bring to the, diet food does not have to be not with flavor. So that is what is the challenge this year. And both the dishes which Abhijit has pulled off is flavorful, because when I experienced it myself, I shot it myself with the team. It was amazing flavors which went into the market, and it's amazing how the whole ADHM is bringing the whole country and the world together under one platform. It's amazing. Food is obviously one way forward. Right?
Was this a conspiracy, Ashish, to schedule this particular session around lunchtime? Rohil, I'm going to come to you if you promise not to show off about the gushtabas that are not too far away from you. We had a runner, one of the runners who came on was from Jammu. And I think that's the message, be it through the hub or generally through the app or everything. That's the message, that wherever you are, it's all encompassing right now.
Absolutely. And, one is that brings together, I would say thanks to this pandemic in a way, because see, wherever you are being part of it, you have, like, I am right now, even, we are all from different parts and being here. So this event, which is like having its own standing globally, for example, the biggest brand globally, when it comes to a smaller marathon. So, being part of it itself is a huge, plus for everyone. And to do it in this environment where the sentiment is low adds another layer of value this year. It's all making it happen, and they have not given up. I think kudos to the entire team, bringing them all together in a sentiment where everybody is low. All the sectors are facing a huge challenge, and in this environment, putting this show together, I think it's a great achievement. If you even see the success already there, I would say we already begun on success. So I've been wishing them more, and I'm sure it's going to be a game changer as far as bringing back its sentiment is concerned.
Yeah, the beauty of technology is that we've also can have more of our curators joining us. I can see Siddharth Kedia has joined us. Hopefully you can hear us and join the fun as part of the hub.
Of course, Gautam.
Excellent. as I said at the very start, we've got such unique locations for everybody. That is what makes this particular event unique. So maybe you can give us a little hint about your own location, but tell us about your role in part of this curation.
I think so. One of the things which is catching on like wildfire around the globe and in India is esports. And we've been speaking to Anil for a while, and we thought it's really important to integrate, real life sports with esports across the country, because that's where youth is headed. So what we've curated a game called Real Cricket, where we'll start the registrations tomorrow. They will go on till 26th. And then 27th to the 29th, about 256 people will actually play 1-versus-1 cricket esports version. And then the finale would be the top 8 teams. So it's divided into 8 groups of 32 people each. The top from each group comes in and plays the finale on 29th, which would also be broadcasted. So we just thought it's a great opportunity to bring the two worlds together as we build on this journey.
Yeah, interesting, Ashish, interesting point that Siddharth makes about bringing the worlds together, because, there are people who may be a bit alien almost to a world of fitness, and they're saying, is running just about running? But what ADHM and the message it's sending, particularly this year, is it's not just geographically all-encompassing, it's wanting everybody to come on board.
Yeah, and we're seeing this, Gautam, as a very, very all-encompassing sort of a platform where on one end, there are themes like wellness, e-gaming, kids and family entertainment, food zones, knowledge and, what we call as active minds. And this is being, delivered via various interesting formats. Again, there'll be panel discussions, there are speaker sessions. We're doing this in 2 parts. One part is called as KnowledgeScape, the other is called as Brandscape. A whole host of brands will come in with offers and their e-booth and so on and so forth. So it will be a busy 7 days for sure. We start on the 23rd of November all the way up to 29th November. So there will be a lot that will happen those 7 days.
Just a final word from Nipul. I just wanted to try and get an understanding for people of the challenges that you would face for curating something like this in this scenario. I think you're on mute, guys.
Yes. Yes. So challenges in the scenario, obviously, to engage kids and families. So we experience this kind of situation before. So obviously now one-to-one engagement is what we knew, till now. But now after this pandemic, obviously the virtual events things, now people have adapted those things. And obviously, and we have come to know that irrespective of the time and environment, people need to learn, people need to have entertainment in their life. So, that's where we are trying our best to, engage people in whatever the situation is, that's
Fair enough. I think, Ashish, if you were to sum up what we've heard from everyone, it's fair to say that it may be virtual, at least as far as the hub is concerned, but the experience is real.
Yeah, absolutely is. And it will be, we're starting on Monday, so we welcome everyone to come in and attend each of our sessions. They love the experiences.
They certainly will, and we've already heard from so many of our curators, and I think people will look forward to a different mix of so many things, from the engagement to the experience to the food and to the gaming. I think that covers pretty much every aspect of it. And for some of you who don't think you are fitness freaks, don't think that the only place you can sprain your thumb is on a PlayStation. You can actually get out there and do much more. That's the message, certainly speaking from experience. Thank you, Siddharth, Kiran, Nipul,
Thank you.
Naveen, and Ruhail. And of course, Ashish, you've summed it up so beautifully. You've given us the genesis of it, and we look forward to seeing everyone on race day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते.
Well, it might be the end of this session, but this unique journey is only just beginning. We've heard from every aspect of the team that is putting together what is really a revolution. It's something never seen before, and it's something that's going to set a trend. It's something that's going to spark off a revolution that other sports, other walks of life are going to follow. These are times we didn't even expect it to happen, but it's happening in all its glory. There's going to be the best elite and Indian field running on the streets of Delhi. It's going to be seen around the world, heard around the world. And of course, from every corner of the country, as we've already seen, people are going to be running in their own spaces and picking up those wonderful medals and making it an event to remember. Just to sum up, this is a journey. It's talked about hope. It's become part of a vision. It's about fitness. It's also about safety. But I think most importantly, the one message we've got is the entire country is coming together to feel like they are part of Delhi. ADHM 2020, it's about unity. We'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.
खामोश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है.
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप छपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं, आजाद पंख है यारों चलो आसमान से खेले, ना सरहद ना सीमाएं आओ उड़ान से खेले, सोच लिया.
Focus on the moment at hand, stick to the plan, never stop, never again, don't think, no what, and there's no pain, only adrenaline running through my veins. Breakthrough and I never quit, mine is on the finish line till I'm over it. When I fall, I rise, you'll see how, like a flame from the ashes. Nothing can stop me now.
सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है.
Nothing can stop me
जिद्दी सी कोशिश लेकर जिद्दी सी कोशिश लेकर नस नस का धनुष बनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, तलवों से तपी जमी को जुनूनी राग सुनाना, होना ही है आज मुकम्मल. सोच लिया खामोश झील के अंदर एक जिंदा लहर उठाना, हर दिल की खुली सड़क पे उम्मीदें लिखते जाना, सोए सोए सपनों को एक हलचल ख्वाब दिखाना, बेबाक इरादे लेकर बिन बंदिश बहते जाना। सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go. Nothing can stop you now. Get up and go, get up and go.
जब सच्ची दौड़ हो अंदर सब बंधन खुल जाते हैं, छप छप छपाक से चेहरे रातों के धुल जाते हैं, आजाद पंख है यारों चलो आसमान से खेले, ना सरहद ना सीमाएं आओ उड़ान से खेले। सोच लिया
Focus on the moment at hand, stick to the plan, never stop, never again, don't think, no what, and there's no pain, only adrenaline running through my veins. Breakthrough and I never quit, mine is on the finish line till I'm over it. When I fall, I rise, you'll see how, like a flame from the ashes. Nothing can stop me now.
सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है, सोच लिया तो मुमकिन है, निकल पड़ो तो मुमकिन है।
Nothing can stop me
सिद्धि सी कोशिश लेकर